And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Steve Calderon, who writes, the review embargo for Ghostbusters Afterlife was lifted 1 month before its release. The movie so far holds a good 86% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Social media reactions, which we all know about, from a surprise early screening at the movie's New York Comic-Con panel were also positive. John, since you've already seen the movie at CinemaCon, let's hear your review. What worked and didn't work for you? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. Appreciate that. And yeah, Rob, you might remember, I was telling you about this, that obviously me and Aaron Cummings, we went to the recent CinemaCon in Las Vegas last month. And during the big panel, Jason Reitman and his father, Ivan Reitman, of course, directed the original Ghostbusters stuff. Mm-hmm. Jason Reitman, his son, who is an incredible director, is directing this new one, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Came out, and they talked about the movie, and then they said, and by the way, guys, make sure you don't spoil anything for people because you're watching the movie right now. And everybody in the theater were like, whoa, did he just say we're going to watch the movie now? It was nobody expected it. They gave us a total surprise screening of Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I'll be honest with you, I did not know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect from this thing. I was charmed and delighted. Absolutely charmed and delighted. Now, inconsequential, I'm going to give you a couple of inconsequential details, like things that happen right at the beginning of the movie. These aren't big spoilers that ruin the outcome of the film or anything like that. But so basically the movie opens with Egon kind of saving the world. I won't give the details of how, kind of saving the world and then disappearing. And then it fast forwards a number of years later, and we see his grandkids. There's a brother and a sister, his grandkids. The brother is played by Wolfhard. I forget his actual name. He was from
Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard, thank you. The older brother played by Finn Wolfhard, who's kind of his own guy, and his younger sister, who is just like Egon. And their mother, who is obviously Egon's daughter. And they end up, as you guys can tell from the trailer, they say this in the trailer, they end up inheriting Egon's old house. And it's this creepy old house, and they go there. And then all of a sudden, strange things start to happen in the town. Obviously, right. Paul Rudd is in the movie as well. And then it leads on. And you guys also can tell from the trailers because you had Dan Aykroyd. So I thought it was Bill Murray's voice in the trailer, but it turns out everybody told me it was Dan Aykroyd. It turns out everybody was right. It was Dan Aykroyd. So, you get a little bit of involvement of other Ghostbusters as well in the film. And listen, I just got to tell you, I didn't know what to expect. But this movie for me was an extremely pleasant surprise. A really, really pleasant surprise. I smiled with glee through the movie. And Aaron Cummings, who saw it with me, was like digging her claws into my arm and crying with happiness and just all this. Like, she had a remarkably good time. Now, look, without giving any details away, I'll tell you this. The ending of the film, like the last... not the last act, because the last act is very solid as well. But like the ending, like the last 10 minutes of the movie for me kind of comes off the rails a little bit. And I didn't really like the execution of the last 10 minutes, but I am in the minority. Just be aware of that. I'm in the minority because most of the people that came out of that screening, including Aaron Cummings, loved the last 10 minutes. Love the way it all kind of came together. So for me, the last 10 minutes were shaky, but I'm in the minority. Most other people really like the way it came together at the end. So I guess, Rob, it had the heart you wanted to see. It had the right humor you wanted to see. Paul Rudd is fantastic in this. He's not the lead of the film, but he's completely fantastic. Finn Wolfhard, this is a kid to watch going forward because I always like him and stuff. He knows when to be really awkward and to come across a different way. The little girl was great. The mom was great. It's a fun, enjoyable movie. It's not going to end the year in my top 5 list or anything like that. But to me, this was a win. This was a good, solid win, a really enjoyable Ghostbusters. Rob, where's your expectation level at right now for Ghostbusters? Have you been looking forward to this, or what have you been expecting?
Well, I have been. I mean, I'm a fan of Jason Reitman, obviously, and I think it's kind of neat that he came to do this. And what I really appreciate, even from the early trailers, is just how different it looks. Like a whole different approach. There's something about the fact that you're out of the city. You're in you're out in, I guess, the country, a small town, And because to me, Ghostbusters, when I think of Ghostbusters, I think of it's as much a product of New York as anything else. And that's what's so much fun about it is ghosts in the New York Library or ghosts in skyscrapers and flying around the city and all that. I thought the choice of moving the location completely going the opposite direction was a great idea. And the idea that it's like Egon's house and like it's been 30 years, so people don't remember the Ghostbusters. You can watch videos on YouTube of their old ads, and everyone's like, they were charlatans. There was never there was no Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, whatever. And it was all just a parade float, whatever it is. I mean, so the direction they went in looked good to me. And hearing what you've said and hearing the response to others, how virtually everybody has said how surprising it was. Because I am not a fan of Ghostbusters 2. Not a big fan. And I love the original film. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Question is for you guys. Well, actually, before I get to that, I should say in our live chat, CJ Chaos in the live chat is asking, do I need to rewatch Ghostbusters 1 and 2? Not that I need an excuse to. Honestly, no, I think if you've never seen Ghostbusters 1 or 2, I think you're perfectly fine just going into this movie cold, to be honest with you. I think there will be a few details you'll appreciate more if you go back either and watch the original Ghostbusters for the first time or go back and do a rewatch. I think there are going to be some details you pick up more and appreciate a little bit more. But honestly, overall, I think the way Jason Reitman did this movie was done in such a way that I think you'll be perfectly fine even if you never saw the originals. But dude, if you've never seen the original Ghostbusters, forget the fact that there's a new one. Go watch the original Ghostbusters. I think that's what people would say. Anyway, guys, what are your guys' thoughts on what we're hearing coming out of Ghostbusters? Are you excited about it? Are you afraid it's going to turn into, the same situation that we had with the last one that came out a couple of years ago? Or whatever you guys are feeling, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.